What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video. So today, I just wanted to share with you a very practical, open conversation regarding why I think a lot of entrepreneurs hesitate in starting their online business. I'm going to give you three practical reasons, or I guess not practical, but like three common reasons. And then I also want to address how to overcome all of these problems at the end of the video as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's just get started. So the very first reason why I think many people don't really want to start their business is simply because of imposter syndrome. Now, imposter syndrome is just the feeling of that we're not good enough for what we're doing, right? It's like, who are we to educate or talk about the thing that we want to talk about? So in my case, I'm a musician, I'm a composer, and an orchestrator, and I do a lot of content on how to write music and produce music on your computer. Now, I am classically trained as a pianist, and I was brought up in the classical world, but when it came to composing orchestral music, I was a total newbie in it. Like, in terms of, I was not classically trained in that. I didn't really study orchestration professionally or anything, but it was my passion in orchestration that allowed me to sort of develop a love for the art and basically learn more and more and develop my craft over time. And essentially, I view my business as a love of sharing what I know and what I do on a regular basis. I do not take it from the perspective of, oh, I'm better than you. Like, I'm better than the student in that you don't know what you're talking about. My way is the only right way. Like, that's, I don't think, a healthy way to approach business or education in general. And so if you view it from the perspective of sharing and basically opening the door to exploring new opportunities and discoveries, then this will really help in changing our perspective when it comes to starting a business. Because we only really need to be one step ahead of the student we're helping. They don't need us to be the very best in the world. As long as we can help them in that specific area and help them solve a very specific problem, then they will develop that know, like, and trust factor, as long as you're being genuine and authentic and all the things we can talk about there. But imposter syndrome is so real, right? And it definitely impacts all of us to some degree, I think. But that is the first reason I feel like a lot of people don't want to start a business right away, because they just don't feel like they are good enough to do that. And like they feel like they're an imposter. They don't feel like they are the expert in the field to share, right? The second reason why most people don't start is because they just don't know where to start. There's so many things we could be doing. Should I be making my course first? Should I be creating a community? Should I be doing masterminds? Should I be uploading content? Should I be running paid ads? There are so many things we could be doing. And so that's a very, very common reason. And I think one reason why I hesitated to start in the first place as well, because I was in university. I knew that I wanted to do something and have some income coming in when I had graduated from my program, but I kind of hesitated for a year or so because I didn't really know where to start in the first place. Now, that being said, over the course of the past few years, I've learned a lot, and that's why I'm sharing this stuff with you. But again, I'll share that with you at the very end, how to actually overcome this fear of not knowing where to start. And the third and final reason is simply the fear of failure, right? If we had a crystal ball and we could tell the future, that would be an incredible superpower. But unfortunately, as human beings, we do not have that ability. And so the fear of failure is such a real thing. And I think naturally we have a scarcity mindset in that we fear for the worst, right? I think it's natural for human beings to do that. But what we don't really realize is that it's actually a bigger risk not to take action on what you want to do, because then you're basically sabotaging your future. If you don't take the right steps towards starting a business or earning an income, nothing will really happen, right? So it's actually less risky to start a business, because what's the worst that happens? It doesn't work out and you still have your regular day job and things stay normal. But just imagine the things that could be improved if you did take that first step. Well, suddenly now you have a new door open to you, and all the things in the future are suddenly a lot more exciting because you can see a goal, you can see a destination in the future, and it allows you to strive for those things. So the fear of failure is definitely the third thing that I think stops a lot of entrepreneurs from actually starting their business. But that being said, though, let's kind of get into how to overcome each of these. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, the only thing you can really do is to simply bite that in the butt and just start. Like, let's say it's putting out content. you're afraid to put out content out there because you're afraid people will judge you and they'll kind of see through the veneer, if you will. But again, people do not need you to be the best. As long as you're passionate about that thing, you have knowledge about that thing, and you want to share from the heart, then people will naturally find that content and the right audience will naturally come to you. Even to this day, sometimes I feel imposter syndrome, but as again, I'm viewing it from the perspective of like, I'm just sharing what works for me. I'm trying to help people as if they're my friends and my students. I'm just sharing what has worked for myself and other people in general. And from that perspective, I don't really feel like an imposter anymore, because I'm not trying to be something I'm not, right? I'm just being myself, and I'm sharing what I know works for myself and other people. So you just got to commit. And even if that niggling feeling is there, like you're not good enough, you are good enough to help someone else. And you are good enough to have done what you've done. You've overcome your own problems, right? You've learned a lot in your own specific field. So now you have the ability to share with other people. And there will always be people who know less than you, but there will always be people who know more than you. But we can be content with that and know that we can impact our part of the world in that small way, right? So that's number one. Number two, not knowing where to start. I think the very best place to start is to start creating free content on a consistent basis, no matter what. People talk about paid ads, they talk about cold traffic, how that can be super effective for scaling. And while I think that is true to some degree, the best conversions happen when you have warm leads, people who already know what you're doing. They know, like, and trust you. They want to learn more about what you have to offer, and they found you in an organic way. So when it comes to free content, I usually recommend YouTube and committing to a weekly release schedule. It could be bi-weekly, or it could be once a month if you want to really focus on a really super high quality video. But the consistency of your output is going to be the most important thing in the long run, and the quality will naturally increase over time. Sean Cannell from Think Media says, try to make each video 1% better than the previous one, right? So that's definitely something we can do. So if you don't know where to start with the free content. And as you're doing that, you will hear people start asking more questions. They'll request different types of topics, and you're starting to learn more about what your people actually want and need. And therefore, you can then build your courses, your communities, your memberships around those specific wants and needs, and then sell them to your audience. But starting with free content is the best thing you can do first, and building your email list at the same time, which is why I recommend building your email list as quickly as possible. Usually you need an email marketing platform. I use Kajabi, but it could be really any platform. So release that free content and start collecting those leads for your warm organic audience. The third and final thing, the fear of failure. This is probably the most real one and longest lasting fear out of all of these three. Because again, we cannot predict the future, right? So we don't know if our business will fail in 10 years or even 2 years. But the thing is, if we're taking the right steps and controlling what we can control, for example, creating content, creating valuable things and courses and stuff for people to consume, then we don't really have to fear. The opposite view is actually better, an abundance mindset rather than the scarcity mindset, right? With an abundance mindset, you can imagine the possibilities out there, right? Instead of fearing, oh, what if I only make 50,000 this year? Think, wow, I just made an extra 50,000 this year from an online business. That's incredible, right? And it really is. So have an abundance mindset. Think about what can be possible if you take action on your goals and really start putting into practice what you read on the internet and all the YouTube videos you've seen. There is no better time than now to start your online business. All you really need is a great idea, an idea you're passionate about, and an idea that helps people at the same time. Can you intersect your passion, what you really love, with the value, right? So if I'm writing music, can I help people write music? So in that way, I'm being fulfilled because I do enjoy talking about music and nerding out about music, but I'm also able to help people along the way as well. Do the exact same thing that I'm doing. And a lot of people just want to make music for the sake of expressing themselves, and that's all it needs to be, in my niche at least. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Those are sort of the three things. Number one, imposter syndrome. Number two, not knowing where to start. And number three being the fear of failure. And now you know how to overcome those three as well. I hope that was helpful. Just a couple of things before you go to really leave you on a good note, Number one, if you want to check out sort of like my core essential recommendations for how to start an online business. If you want to know like the core foundations behind a successful business, I actually have a free guide going over that down below in the description. You can download. It's a PDF checklist. It's completely free. You can read that anytime you like. And yeah, I hope it really helps you. Number two, if you already have started your business and you're on Kajabi, for example, which is the platform that I've been using for a while. It's an all-in-one platform. It hosts your website, your email marketing, and everything else basically. Then I have an extended free trial for you if you want to try that out. And I can give you 30 days plus 2 bonus mini courses for free if you'd like to take advantage of that. The link is down below in the description as well. And the third and final thing is if you want private coaching, if you want one-on-one consultations with me, I also have a link below in the description where you can sign up for that and read more information. I'd love to connect with you, learn more about your business, and we can sort of work together and really, kickstart or supercharge your business in any way you like. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon.